Hey everyone, welcome back to Ragtag Stacking. In today's video I want to talk a little bit about the silver shortage and how it may have been affecting you. Now if you've been watching my channel for any amount of time, you know that I haven't been picking up as much silver as I would like to have. The goals that I set for myself, my 2021 stacking goals, I haven't really met many of them or even started a couple of them just because of the premiums, the way they've been, and obviously that's being affected by the shortage. So yeah, I kind of switched just a little bit into just stacking cash away in the hopes of having the premiums break a little bit, have a little bit of ease in that. So one of the ways that I combat that is, instead of buying stuff that I usually buy at a lower premium, I look for some of the stuff that I usually don't get because it's a higher premium, and go for those because it seems like the premium on these have been affected a lot more than, say, premiums on the Libertads. I got this for a fantastic deal along with the 5-ounce Libertad that I had. So these aren't something that I look to stack because they do carry a heavier premium on them, you know what I mean, compared to the regular prices of, say, generic rounds or the ASEs or maples. These are usually too expensive to be considered a stacking option. So I do just pick them up here and there. But over the shortage and everything, I've seen all the prices go up in other coins, and the Libertad prices, at least where I am, haven't really been affected too much at all. I got this for a fantastic price on, like I said, the 5-ounce, and I do have another 1-ounce coming on the way, and that should be in a video very soon. But I remember doing a video not too long ago where they were talking about the Bank of Mexico suspending their production, and that was going to be hampering the production of the Libertads for a little bit. And of course, recently we all know what's been going on with the US Mint and those Morgan dollars, the Morgan and Peace dollar sales. The pre-sales on those have been postponed because they say that there's the world global silver shortage, and then they needed to kind of revise that and walk that back a little bit, saying that it was the silver shortage that was they couldn't source the blanks needed to make the new Morgans and silver the new Morgan and Peace dollars. So yeah, I found this interesting article about the silver shortage, and it kind of goes over the everything about it and how it has been affecting you and me. Okay, so this is the article here. It is on Coin Week, and it says the silver shortage and how it's affecting you. From Bullion Shark. I guess it's sourced from Bullion Shark, but this is on Coin Week here. So starting off here, it says in early 2020 there have been more amazing developments regarding silver bullion and the silver market, the wholesale and retail markets, as well as investing in silver through ETFs or exchange traded funds. After dipping in 2019, the combined demand from those who invest in silver bullion, whether the physical bars or coins, as well as activity in ETFs and futures trading, rose by 20% in 2020, and the increased level of demand has continued into 2021. Now for me, I just go with the physical silver. I haven't yet jumped into the paper silver or anything like that with the ETFs, and not to say that I never will get into that, but I just haven't dipped my toes into that yet. I have kind of gotten into crypto a little bit. I have some Ethereum, but yes, I have not jumped into the paper market yet, and that's kind of where they're going here just a little bit. It says in February of this year, silver holdings used to back ETFs reached a record high of 1.2 billion ounces. The majority of that silver was stored at vaults in London on behalf of major silver ETFs, especially SLV. The other major holdings are stored at the COMEX in New York and in China. Over the course of 3 days during that period, an unprecedented 110 million ounces of silver were added to those ETFs. This led to concern that if demand continued to rise at a similar pace for much longer, London would have run out of readily available physical silver. And then going down here, there's a report here from the LBMA. It would only have been a matter of weeks before London's existing stock was used up. And in February, SLV changed its prospectus to reflect the situation, saying the demand for silver may temporarily exceed available supply that is acceptable for delivery and trust. And the next thing down here is social media frenzy, and we've all seen that. We saw the rise of the meme stocks and things like that, and then the people on Wall Street silver turned their eyes to physical silver, thinking that they could have a same sort of spike or squeeze that they did with the AMC stock and things like that, but didn't quite go the way that they wanted it to, and I'll explain it a little bit down here. In February, we also saw a widespread effort by followers of social media sites like Reddit to force a market silver squeeze by purchasing all the physical silver they could get their hands on, following a similar effort to drive up the price of GameStop. So, we did see a brief spike. It did get to around that $30 per ounce. And I remember the weekend where it happened, Sunday, the majority of the physical bullion sites took down their sales. They were no longer selling silver, and when they came back online, that's when the premiums went through the roof, and they really haven't been back since. Yeah, but going forward, like I said, on the other hand, the price of silver did not keep rising beyond that $30 mark, but dipped back to about $25 after the social media frenzy. And right now it's sitting around that $27, $28 mark, and it's kind of been stagnant there for a while. And the reason why it didn't really go the way they wanted it to, like GameStop, it explains here, says this is because the majority of trading in silver takes place not in physical markets but in the paper future market based on the COMEX. Only a fraction of the contracts in futures market is covered by physical silver held in the COMEX. So the silver squeeze and all that silver on Reddit and the Wall Street silver guys, they're trying to have a huge scale effect on the price of silver by trying to manipulate a section that is one of the smaller parts of the whole industry. You know what I mean? The investment side. If they were to somehow try to manipulate the industrial side of it, maybe they could have a different outcome. Or if they could somehow manipulate the paper side of it, sure. But the physical, it wasn't going to make too much of a difference. And as we can see from the sample size here, the silver squeeze that they tried didn't really do too much. It caused a little bit of a hype, but the results that we saw, that $30 didn't last long. It dropped right back down right away. So then there is the fact that major mints like the U.S. Mint have had to slow down production in its minting facilities, despite the fact that demand has exploded because of health and safety protocols and things like that. So that the new American Silver Eagles and the Morgan and Peace dollars have been affected by this shortage. This situation has, in words of Mint Director David Ryder, left the Mint between a rock and a hard place, as he said on May 4th. He noted that in March 2021, sales of bullion coins at the Mint had risen 173%, and he appreciated the patience of Mint customers who have had to deal with production delays caused by increased demand and the changes to production procedures and schedules. So you can see that the production was up, obviously, back in March. So instead of trying to fix it before trying to roll out this huge Morgan and Peace dollar that they knew everyone was going to be after, and the hype was so big, they knew that everyone was going to be trying to get this coin. So instead of coming out and saying, hey, the delay might happen on these Morgan and silver dollars, the production is down, it has risen by 173% in March, they saw, and they already see that the production delays were causing problems. They should have just said, we are holding off on releasing the Morgan and Peace dollars for a little bit until we get things figured out. Instead of getting hype all the way where it was, announcing these 3 windows for pre-sale, and then having an absolute train wreck of a pre-sale the first day, and then saying, oh yeah, it's postponed for the rest of the time because of this silver shortage. Silver shortage didn't come out of nowhere, and again, they had to revise their statement because it wasn't true. And then they had to go on and further revise their statement, saying that it was the silver planchets that they couldn't source. And then more people were saying that's BS because there is still silver out there if you want it. You just have to pay extra for it. You know what I mean? The market's up. You're going to have to pay you're going to have to pay money for that silver. But the U.S. Mint doesn't want to be paying more for the silver for coins that they've already set their price for. They've already set the price for these Morgan and silver dollars. So they're not going to be wanting to pre-sale the things when you're not even going to be getting in your hands until October. Admittedly, that's what it's pre-order, and they weren't going to ship it until October. But they're not going to be wanting to sell these coins at a set price when they're going to need to be buying the silver at a higher. But unfortunately, that's the way it is. So instead of having the hype build up on these coins and everybody want them and then pull the rug out on everyone, just come out and say, listen, we have to postpone at this date. We have to push it back. We don't want our customers to be upset by having to deal with site crashes and having to deal with, everything that's going on right now, everything that they've made, and they've just made a mess. Sorry about that rant, but the U.S. Mint has kind of been pissing me off lately. In particular, demand for the Silver Eagles have been very strong since early 2020, and combined with the backlog of production in silver and rising silver prices, this has led to premiums continuing to remain high at historic standards. So yes, we all know these premiums we've been dealing with, and you know, that's one of the main reasons why I haven't been picking up silver at the rate that I wish I would have to start 2021. But anyways, that's the article. I did read quite a bit of it. If you do want to reread it, then go ahead. I will leave the link in the description. But like I said, I did read through a fair bit of the article, just going over the silver shortage and stuff like that. Okay, so yeah, that was the article. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments what you guys have been doing during this silver shortage. I do know that the premiums have been making it pretty much impossible to pick up at a normal rate. I do see people saying that they have completely stopped buying, and I'm not in that boat. I am trying to look for the best opportunities to pick up silver, and being as I just started stacking silver, my dollar cost average isn't the greatest. So I do know some people that have been stacking for a lot longer than me, even decades. They've been putting away putting away weight and things like that. So they can afford to more or less kind of keep picking up silver how they've always been picking up silver, and they can kind of deal with their phenomenal dollar cost average to weather the storm. Whereas if I were to continue to pick up silver the way I always have, my dollar cost average would just go through the roof. It would be obliterated. So I don't quite have that luxury, but if some of you do, that's awesome. And it's been cool seeing videos of people just continuing to be getting the silver on the same pace they were before all of this shortage and craziness happened. But anyways, like I said, let me know down in the comments how you guys have been weathering this shortage. And yeah, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you come back for the next one. Thank you.